Alien Romulus was directed by Fede Alvarez, and it stars Cailee Spaeny as Rain. And this movie takes place between Alien and aliens. So in this movie, this movie's about a group who comes across this ship called the Romulus because they go inside because they needed something until they're being hunted by horrifying alien creatures on the ship. They get really scared, and now they have to learn how to survive, and now we got our movie. Excuse me. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not too attached to the Alien movies. I have not seen not one single Alien movie. I know I'm missing out on the Alien movies. And I've tried everything. I've tried everything to actually watch some of the Alien movies, but excuse me again. But I just wasn't too attached to the Alien movies at all. Like I said, I know I'm missing out. But maybe someday I'll probably watch the Alien movies. But I guess this is the only Alien movie that I'm attached to since I watched it. So the trailers for this movie were pretty vague and very scary and horrifying. But the trailers, in my opinion, were awesome. So I heard some great reviews for this movie, and I'm like, okay, let me watch the movie for myself and see what my opinions and thoughts on this movie. But after seeing the movie for myself, I love this movie. I gotta admit, I think Alien Romulus is the only movie that I actually love the most. And Alien Romulus is easily one of the best movies I ever seen all year. And I think that's pretty much it. Let's just talk about the actors and the characters themselves. Starting off with is Cailee Spaeny as Rain. Now, Rain in this movie, the only thing that I can say is, she does help out the group look for something that they need on this Romulus ship. They're being hunted by these creatures. They get very, very scared, and they're trying to learn how to survive without getting killed off by xenomorphs or face huggers or any other creature on this ship. And that's all I can say. But then Rain does have a lot to do in this movie because she's the main character in this movie. So there you have it. And Cailee Spaeny is really good in this movie as Rain, and that's all I can say for Rain. Next up is Isabela Merced as Kay. Now, Kay in this movie doesn't really get anything to do. Or at least, I think she only gets like one thing to do in this movie. I might have missed something. I might have to rewatch the movie again. But I think the only few things that she does is either cry, panic, or runs off. And that's all I can say. So, with Kay, I think Kay could have something to do in this movie, but from my understanding, there was something going on with her. I think there's a reason why she didn't really get anything to do, but I won't tell you because you have to see the movie yourself. So, I guess that's pretty much it. And Isabela Merced is really good as Kay. That's all I can say for Kay. Last but definitely not least is David Jonnson as Andy. Now, Andy in this movie, a few things I might say, that he's just emotionless. He doesn't call for help. He doesn't cry. He doesn't grunt. He doesn't do anything. The only thing he does is keep calm the entire time. The entire movie, he's just calm. That's it. He doesn't scream. He doesn't cry. He doesn't do anything. He's just calm the entire movie. But the good thing that he does is help the group out. And he does have excellent chemistry with Rain in this movie. I do like the chemistry that he has with Rain in this movie and the rest of the group as well. And as they're trying to learn how to survive. So that's all I can say. And he's also trying to survive as well. And David Jonnson is really good in this movie as Andy, and that's all I can say for Andy. And that's it for the actors and the characters themselves. So I want to talk about how, so the horrifying sequences in this movie has jump scares going on. Like I will say, this movie is way more horrifying. This movie is not an action movie. This is just a horror movie. I mean, when I was watching the movie, I was like, it looks more like an action movie and a horror movie all at once, which I was a little confused about. But it is a horror movie. But what I liked about the horror stuff, the horrifying scenes in this movie, there's dark hallways. So what I liked about this movie, there's a bunch of creepy, dark, heavy sequences in this movie. Like like the group go through dark hallways. They go through dark hallways. There's creatures. And like there's probably creatures on walls, or there's just creatures starting jump scares. They end up getting scared. They're trying to learn how to get out of this mess. They're trying to get out of this Romulus ship. But like I said, they were looking for something, but they're trying to learn how to survive without getting killed off by facehuggers or the xenomorphs or any other creature on this ship. But with the facehuggers, I want to talk about the creatures. The facehuggers are horrifying. Like when I look at a facehugger, I look at a facehugger and I said, it looks like a cross between a scorpion and a spider all at once, but way more scary. But the facehuggers, the way I see them, they look amazing in this movie. Yeah, because they look way more terrifying. Including the xenomorphs. The xenomorph aliens are pretty cool in this movie. Like, because, you know, these xenomorphs are actually reminiscent from those original Alien movies. But bringing them back for this movie, they look pretty cool. And there's some, I think there are like a couple of creatures in this. I think there are like a few creatures or the same creatures. I did talk about xenomorphs and the facehuggers, but I think there was like probably like one creature in this movie that looks way more terrifying as well. But the creature does look pretty cool. But what the group is trying to do in this movie, like I said, the group is trying to get themselves out of this nasty situation. But this movie, what I really liked about this movie kind of brings back nostalgia bait from those original Alien movies. The way I see it, like, because there's some scenes in this movie that feels more nostalgia bait from those original Alien movies. Yeah, like from those original Alien movies, like a box computer or something that actually is way more reminiscent from those original Alien movies. Because this movie, like I said, this movie actually takes place between the first movie and the second movie. And that's why I feel like there's a little bit more nostalgia bait in this movie that the Alien fans are going to love the most. And I will say that there's some scenes in this movie that kind of feels way more fast paced. But the opening scene, however, is a little bit more slow paced. Like, I understand the opening scene is trying to take its time to get to the main point without trying to rush things through. This movie does not feel rushed. The editing is perfectly shot, and all the shots in this movie are incredible. There's a lot of heavy, dark, horrifying, scary sequences in this movie. I like the fact that the director knows what he's doing. Fede Alvarez, I think this is his first time directing an Alien movie, and he did a wonderful job with all these directed shots of the movie and the cinematography. And this is the first movie that's not being directed by Ridley Scott, who was the original director of the Alien movies back in the day, and now Fede Alvarez is now the director of this movie. And both directors did a wonderful job with those Alien movies, and that's it. But for the rest of this movie, like I said, the editing is great. But for the rest of this movie, it's fantastic. I think Alien Romulus is the only Alien movie I really enjoyed the most. I'm gonna have to watch the Alien movie, starting off with the first movie, then I'll get into the second movie, and I'll probably watch the rest of the other Alien movies. So, like I said, I'm probably going to watch some of the Alien movies and just get myself interested, and that's it. But watching this movie is awesome. So I guess that pretty much wraps it up for this review for Alien Romulus. Have you seen it? Have you not seen it? If you have seen it, did you like it or you didn't like it? I think this movie, in my opinion, is awesome. So I guess that pretty much wraps it up for this review for Alien Romulus, and that's it. So be sure to like, subscribe, press the notification button, follow me on Instagram, comment down below, and I'll see you on my next video. Thank you for watching.